going to show you how to put together the Auren EV4. So first thing is to remove all the packaging and cable ties. If you want to, you can use a little flathead screwdriver and actually put it into the tab of the cable tie to pull the cable tie out, and then you can reuse these cable ties. Alright, so we've got all the packaging off, and in the box we had the bike, of course, front wheels separate, front mud guard, seat post and saddle, and then as well in the box there's the charger, the front light and some pedals. The tools you'll need to put it all together are a 3, 4, 5 and 6 mil Allen keys, and then either a 10 mil spanner or a small shifting spanner. So first thing to do is you'll notice that I've got the front of the bike up on a block, which just makes things a little bit easier when you're fitting the mud guard and the handlebars. So I'm going to first just basically take out these bolts, which will allow us to install the handlebar. So you take this base plate all the way off. Alright, so I've got that off, and now what you're going to do is grab the handlebar, make sure you've got it the right way, so you might need to twist it around and then basically put it onto this face plate, and you'll know that you've got it right because these cables have a nice even kind of distribution across the front. And so then you get your Allen key again, start running them back in like this. Don't worry about getting it perfect for now, you just want to get the bolts kind of all in there and a little bit snug. That last one. Alright. So the bar is on. For now it's just loose because I don't know exactly where I want it to be yet until I've got the front wheel on. Well, it's just kind of snug so it doesn't slip around. So the next thing is you want to basically pull out this brake pad spacer. So just pull that out. That was in there for transport. And you want to unscrew these bolts. These are going to be for fixing on the front mud guard. So I'm just going to run that all the way out. This one as well. This is with the same 4mm Allen key. Okay. So these two bolts are out. Just put them there. And the last bolt that you'll need to take out is this one here. So you'll need your 10mm spanner, and I've got a 5mm Allen key just on a wrench to speed things up a bit, but a regular 5mm will be fine as well. So you just put that on the front and back, and so you want to wind this all the way out. Okay, so now basically on the back there's 2 washers and a nut. I'm going to pull off the nut and 1 washer. I'm going to grab my mud guard, put it through the back, slide it onto the bolt, and I'm going to put back on that washer I took off, as well as the nut. Okay, now I can do that back up.
I'll pause.
Just that? All right, cool. So I'm just doing this bolt back up, and with my middle finger on my left hand, I'm actually pushing the mud guard up so that it's kind of raised in its slot. Okay, so basically you want that down nice and snug, and then you come back through and you want to tighten up these two bolts here. And then nip them up just firmly. Alright, cool. So now what we can do is put a bit of air in our tires. So they just have a press the valve. So you just unscrew this a little bit. And then I'm just gonna put some air in. So you can put around 40 psi in the front. And then screw that back in, the cap back on. The back, you can put around 45 psi. Alrighty, so now we can put the front wheel on. So what you want to do for that is just unscrew this axle. If you have a bit of grease, you can just put a tiny bit of grease on the threads there. And then we'll just drop this wheel down into the slot, put the axle through, and then this is where you get your 6mm Allen key, and you're going to wind this in. Alright, cool. So you make that needs to be pretty firm. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the stand down, and the bike is starting to look a bit more like a bike. So now we can put this in. So your 5mm Allen key again, and you will actually loosen this seat post collar a little bit. Unscrew that, and you want to pull this off entirely. This is the cable for the rear light. Put that back through there. And now you want to actually connect these two cables. Be careful to make sure that little lip lines up with the other little lip. Put it like that. Push it together. Now you can put this in. I find that turning this around a couple of times helps it to kind of allow the cable to twirl around inside. And then you put that in, and you can adjust the height of that later, but for now I'm going to just do this up firmly. Should be around 5 Newton meters if you have a torque wrench. We're getting there. So pedals, if you have some grease, then you can put a little bit of grease on the pedal threads like that, and then these are directional, so you need to find the right side pedal. So you go on the right side, which is this one. Cool, so we just tighten that up. I forgot to mention one other tool, which is a pedal spanner or a 15mm spanner. So you want to put that on. It will allow you to nip up that pedal firmly. And now the left one, and you can tell left and right because there's a little L punched into the end of the spindle there. So now we'll do the left side. And this also has a reverse thread, so you're actually going to turn this way, opposite to normal. And we'll nip that up. Okay, Cool, so now that we have the front wheel on, we can actually fasten the handlebar into place. And so basically, because the front is higher than before, we basically want to check that the angle of the handlebar is good. This actually looks pretty alright. So what I'm going to do is tighten these bolts up firmly now. These should be 5 Newton meters as well if you've got a torque wrench. I'm just kind of going around tightening one at a time, kind of evenly, just going back through them. Alright, so now if it's not already connected, you can connect to the display. This is similar to before. You basically make sure you've got them orientated the right way, and then you just push them together. Front light, there's a 3mm Allen key bolt here. I'll just unscrew that, and then this can go over the handlebar. Run the bolt back in. Make it a bit snug, and then you can pull this back up. Oops, I put that on the wrong side. Sometimes you do it too many times and you forget what you're doing. So you put this over here. Okay, twist this up and forwards, get to the angle you want. This one just plugs in here. Cool, and you're good to go. Alright, so when you're ready to ride, turn it on, pressing this button for 3 seconds. That 0 there is your assist level. So you can press up and down on the front here to go through the different levels. If you wanted to turn on the lights, you press and hold the up button. And then you've got your front light on, and there's also the rear light flashing. And then basically your battery levels here, so you want to give it a good charge before you start riding. The keys are here, which you can use on the left side to release the battery, but it's good to just leave that locked whenever you don't need to take it off. And you can change your gears here, so and that's your little gear indicator. So a little hill means that it's a low gear, and you can turn it down to make it flat to go faster.